Risk is one of those things that's just unavoidable in life. Whether you're jumping off of cliffs on your motorcycle or you're wondering if you have enough time to go to the bathroom before your meeting at your 9 to 5 job, you can't really avoid risk. What we can do is we can correctly manage risk. Managing risk is important. Should I cross the road with my headphones in? Should I go talk to that girl? There's a lot of different risks that you'll run into on a day-to-day basis that you need to decide for yourself if it's worth taking the shot. A lot of people talk about calculated risk, but what is calculated risk exactly? It turns out that there's actually a calculation that people use for risk. The risk calculation is really straightforward. It's risk is equal to the probability of something happening times the cost that the thing actually happening incurs. Insurance companies do this all the time. For example, when an insurance company needs to figure out fire insurance in California versus fire insurance in Detroit, fire insurance in California costs a much higher premium because fires are much more likely to happen in California than they are to happen in Detroit. Let's say that you're like a baby loggerhead turtle. Baby loggerhead turtles are born on beaches, and they need to move to the ocean where they can be safe and grow. Most turtles will actually end up going at night because night decreases their chances of getting eaten by a predator like a crab or a bird. So in our example, let's say that you're a baby turtle and you're trying to get 300 feet to the ocean. You have to look out for that bird with a gun. You have to look out for The Bachelor Season 23 because all of your friends are going to be watching it, and you're going to have to watch out for Turtle Coachella because Turtle Coachella is pretty lit this year, I hear, and it's going to be a shame if you miss it. You're going to get a lot of FOMO. So these are risks that are preventing you from reaching your end goal of actually getting to the ocean. So the risk calculation for this turtle would look something like, okay, my probability of getting to the ocean if I stop is 30%, but my probability of getting to the ocean if I don't stop is 80%, and if I lose, I die. So you want to be able to maximize your chances of being able to do something. Unfortunately for the turtle, they don't really have a choice. They have to get to the ocean. But for us, we get to make choices about the risks that we're going to take. For another example, let's say that you're at a bar. You see a cute girl across the way. You want to build up the courage to talk to her, but you're really anxious. As it turns out, anxiety and risk are pretty intrinsically linked. When you're more afraid and you're more anxious of a threat, your body will prevent you from taking risks. Basically what happens is that your perception to risk increases and you become more aware of what's going on around you and you become more aware of the costs of doing something. Obviously, to lower this anxiety, you can do something like drink, which is what a lot of people will end up doing. But then there's the trade-off of if you drink too much, then you're just going to go up and embarrass yourself because you're a drunk idiot and you don't want to be doing stuff like that. So you need to be able to find a balance between doing too much and doing too little. You need to be able to decrease your anxiety, which will give you the courage to actually go forward and do the things that you need to do without increasing the cost or the probability of failure. If you want to determine if you're going to succeed when you go up to talk to that cute girl, there's a few things that you can do. You can look at the number of times that it's worked out for you or it hasn't worked out for you in the past and then average all of those times to get a rough probability of the girl rejecting or accepting you. For example, if you only get said yes to 20% of the time, most likely this 20% isn't going to go up too much by going and talking to this girl. However, if you get said yes to 80% of the time, your chances of risk are a lot lower. When it comes to talking to people in general, though, you generally want to just go for it because there's a really low risk. The risk here is that she says no and that you get rejected and that you feel hurt for the next couple days or whatever, but then you kind of just get over it. You know what I mean? Life goes on. But the reward could be infinite. You could be meeting your next partner and you might want to be with her for a long time and you would never know if you didn't have the courage to go up and say hello. So this is a very low risk, high reward scenario because it's important to remember that you need to get risky before you get frisky. Another type of common risk is investment. A lot of people will go into investing and they won't necessarily know what to do. They'll either put all their money into stock like Tesla, RIP, or they'll put all their money into index funds. The reason that index funds have much lower risk and also much lower reward is that they're diversifying all your eggs. If you put all your money and eggs into one basket and then that basket gets set on fire, you lose everything. But if you make 100% return on the amount of money that you put into the stock market, you get a much bigger reward if you have all of your money in one place. The problem is, though, that you never really want to take risks that can lead you to becoming completely ruined. You never want to take risks that'll cause you to lose all of your money at any given time. That's just generally a bad idea. Also, it's really important when you're investing to trust the person who you're giving the money to. If you don't trust the person who you're giving your money to and they don't have a deep understanding of the market that they're investing in, they actually don't have any skin in the game, and they're more likely to screw you because they don't have anything to lose if you lose money. So you want to put your money with people who are actually putting their own money in the game or their own reputation on the line or doing something that they care about. Basically, don't give your money to a baby. Babies are generally untrustworthy. So what's the difference between a good risk and a bad risk? A good risk has low cost but high chance of an unknown reward. So basically, this is like making mistakes and talking to people, like I said, where you don't really know what the outcome of it will be, but the reward could technically be unlimited and the cost to you is relatively minimal over time. A good risk can be played multiple times without causing you immense ruin, and you're able to lick your wounds and come back with new lessons learned. A bad risk ruins you. A bad risk completely ends your life or completely wipes you out monetarily or does something else terrible to you. You want to stay away from bad risks in general. Any risk that ruins your health or wealth just really isn't worth it. If you're playing Russian roulette with 5 other people, one person is going to die and 5 people are going to walk away with a lot more money. But if you're playing Russian roulette by yourself, you're going to end up dying. So it's just a bad risk. Don't play Russian roulette by yourself, because in the long term, the more you play Russian roulette, the more likely you die. So you want to be making risks that won't cost you everything every single time, ideally in the 10% to 20% range as opposed to the 90% to 100% range. At the end of the day, if you don't know if you want to take a risk, it's best just to go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Go. God damn it. If you like this video, please hit the like button, please subscribe, and hit the notifications bell for more. I'm going to be discussing a lot more things coming up soon. I'm going to make a video on Drake and Hunter x Hunter and the New York City rent market. So stick around and we're going to talk about some really cool stuff. Thanks for watching.